This video may not blow up. I am just a small-time man, and this is just a time capsule or a reminder for me to buy a Raspberry Pi 5 in the next few months or probably the next few years of my school journey. You see, I am the actual creator of the Wasteland Gameboy, or previously called the Wasteland Switch. It all began as a simple dream because I wanted to play Fallout 1 and 2 and most of its mods on a portable device, but since my phone cannot handle the existence of Winlater and Vault Edition of Level 2 doesn't exist, the Google App Store and the current FO2 app that is currently online cannot handle SFall. I had to resort with a different option, which is the Raspberry Pi 5 I have. And so I began to build frame by frame, layer upon layer, and tools upon tools, and circuits upon circuits. It started out as, buttons on the side, when I called it the Wasteland Switch. And then, since it wasn't that spacious, I turned it into a Game Boy, which are the parts here. See the canny resemblance? I posted it on Reddit, a post so that everyone can look and see what I've created. And from there was just one problem with this setup. This was its first power pack. It uses series, it is connected through series, connected to 4 of these 18650 batteries to have like 14 volts, a total of 14 volts or 14 to 16 volts of power, step down into via this into 5 volts, 5 amps. That's the maximum the Raspberry Pi 5, or just barely for all the peripherals to work. The only problem here is that series doesn't increase all of the lifespan, or how long the batteries will drain. Since all of these are connected to series, it only increases the voltage, not the mAh, the milliamps per hour. It only stayed at 3000 milliamps per hour. But then I saw something. I wanted to make it parallel, so that instead of voltage increasing, it would be the milliamp per hour increasing, totaling up to 12,000 milliamp per hour, so that it can last longer. Previously, the series was just like 30 minutes of 30 minutes of operating time. So I went for parallel. I attempted to make a power pack via parallel connections and came up with this on searching. This is the LM2587. This can power 5 amps in total when connected. The only problem with this board is that when I try to set it to 5 amps, example, it was from 4 volts. When I try to put it to 5 volts via this potentiometer, it goes directly to 6 volts. And when I try to go back to 5 volts from 6 volts, it goes accidentally to 4 volts. And I can't set it normally because it just goes from 4 to 6 and it doesn't stay at 5. To show you what I mean, when I tried to put it on 5 volts, it goes directly to 6. And then I tried to decrease it to somewhere like 4. goes to 4. Like, how does this work? It just directly goes there, and I try to go back to 5 precisely. Goes to 6. And sometimes when I try to go back, yeah, it just does this every time. And so, with all that, when I connected it, it was still powering on. But when I tried to connect a USB connection for the speakers to be powered on for 5 volts, it broke the Raspberry Pi 5. So when I try to turn this on like this, yeah, let me blue light a bit. So it's gonna get hot here. It's gonna get hot. It's not yellow, it's red. When I checked the converter, it was 6 volts. I checked, and it wasn't good. The LED, it was dim red. It wasn't bright red like the usual output of the Raspberry Pi 5. And the charger port, the USB-C charger port, it was overheating. So, what I'm gonna do? What am I going to do? Well, first of all, I'm gonna have to mourn for this Raspberry Pi 5 and give it a proper burial. Number 2, I will bury this time capsule of a video so that in future months' time or future years' time, I can buy a new Raspberry Pi 5 or maybe the new Raspberry Pi 6 to be possible, if it's even possible. So, because right now we're just still scraping the money we have left off for, needs. And then third, this is a very good time to plug in that I really need pixel artists and sound designers for my game development journey, because I don't really know how to make pixel art on my 2D games. I'm just really good at programming but not an artistry. And sound design, I really need, good background music. So yeah, there's that. So even though this is not bad news for me, it is bad news for myself. But it is intended for me and not for you to mourn for the rest of your life. So yeah, I think this will be a good video to bury on my YouTube channel. So thank you.